Evening, ladies and gents. Oh, it's a tad loud at the back. Bring us down. Evening, ladies and gents. It's a bit dark out there. Are we excited? Do you want to tell your faces that? Lovely to see you, ladies and gents. Welcome onto the Playhouse in Epsom, our second show with DKM Promotions, bringing the Chelsea Legends event. Was anybody here for our last show with Gianfranco Zola? Yeah. How good was that night? Oh, was that good, was it? Thanks. Have we got any children in tonight? Do they like bad language? If they do, they're fucked. Because it's going to be a little bit like that before we kick off, because I do know these boys and they don't hold back. A little bit of do's and don'ts this evening. Do is me. I'm going to be here all night hosting the event for you, right the way through the auction, presenting everything along tonight. Like yourselves, I'm a lifelong Chelsea fan and a 40-year season ticket holder. So I kind of know what I'm talking about a little bit. Yeah, so you look at me thinking, he can't afford a season ticket, I know. But I can. That's very kind of you, mate. Does your little boy know you've nicked his tracksuit? I don't usually do shout-outs, ladies and gents, but a very, very, very dear friend of mine got married last Saturday night. I never do that, and Lee, where are you, mate? Ladies and gents, Lee Brown, he got married last Saturday evening, ladies and gents. Lee, welcome to the club, my friend. 8 years of happy marriage I've had, which is pretty good out of 34, isn't it? We got that done. 3 ex-Chelsea legends on stage with us tonight. I can't tell you how excited I am to get it started, ladies and gents. Through the 80s, the 90s, the noughties and the 10s, these 3 graced Stamford Bridge for us. 2 strikers and 1 defender. Unfortunately, we do know that Mark Hughes had to pull out at the last minute, just as some personal reasons, but he has promised us in the new year he will make it up to us. So please watch the space. The 2 strikers shared 280 goals between them for the mighty Blues. The defender got 4. But 1 was a really important one. You don't have to preempt me, mate, or you always like that, come first. Tonight is all about Chelsea, really. I know all these guys have played for other teams, but we're going to try and concentrate just on Chelsea if we can. And it's just about football. I know there are players here tonight who think I've got a question I can ask about something else. That won't be happening. Are we okay with that? Good. It is football. Everything else is strictly off limits. Yeah. I hear the giggling and the laughter at the front down here. The man with a nice... I like that, mate. You've got your swimming cap on. Just don't turn sideways. Those lights are very bright. Just some house rules, ladies and gents. In case of a fire this evening, follow me, because I can guarantee you I won't be running towards the flames. But you will see stewards around the exits. Please follow those out. They'll take you out front and keep you safe. But we won't need that. That's not going to happen. Strictly no videoing tonight. If we see the phones out, we will come and take them off you and get rid of the videos. This, ladies and gents, is like when you go on tour. What happens on tour? That's exactly the way it works. Says a young lady at the back thinking her husband might hear it. Show's in 2 halves. The first half, be me set up here having a little chat, one at a time with each of our footballers. Then we'll have an interval, get your chance to get some drinks in you. Then we'll do an auction after the break, and then I'll get all 3 of the footballers out for you to have your Q&A. If you didn't pick up a little tiny form where you can write your question down, please, I enjoy you to go at half time in the interval to the box office. There's some little forms there to write your question down. We'll put them all in a hat and we'll draw them out. Obviously we do have to be a little bit careful because some of the questions we do have to vet, as I said. Are we all happy so far? Are you ready to get the show on the road? Run VT. Ladies and gents, it gives me the great pleasure to introduce our first guest this evening. From the 1980s, 420 appearances, scored 193 goals, making third on our highest scorer list behind Bobby Tamlin and the great Frank Lampard. Ladies and gentlemen, please let's hear it, Kerry Dixon! Kerry Dixon! I'm so pleased that ain't karaoke. I feel there was something missing. We knew there was something like that coming up. Kerry, great to see you again, my friend. It's been a while.
Likewise.
A bit bigger this venue than last time, isn't it?
Yeah, quite a bit, yeah.
Let's start right at the beginning, Kerry, when you signed for us. 1983, the summer. You signed from Reading, but you've been for a few years, along with a few others, Pat Nevin, Spackman, Joe McLaughlin and Eddie Nijwicki. A couple of years our club have been in the doldrums, we haven't really done anything. Probably 1971, the last time we won, I think, the Cup Winners' Cup, which was a triumph against Real Madrid. And just if you don't mind, ladies and gents, and Kerry, a quick mention for one of the goal scorers that night who we lost this week, ladies and gents, John Dempsey. So we got you in from Reading. Was that an easy decision for you for Lee after 3 years Reading to come to Chelsea?
Well, yes, some of the younger ones might be interested in hearing, some of the older ones probably heard it before, but if you ever took a ride with Ken Bates for 6 hours in his Rolls Royce down to Aberystwyth with him pre-season training them days, I was half convinced by the time I got there. I did the first day's training, I was 80% convinced. So I didn't like training. Anyone who saw me play would understand that. I'd probably finish bottom of all the Opta stats. I'll come on to him a bit later on, but Erling Haaland has been a blessing for the Premier League and great for me. 8 touches and 3 goals is fantastic. I hear all the purists and my peers saying about him, don't do this, don't tackle, don't run. I think, Jesus wept. The bloke's got 50 goals, 50 goals. How bad is that? Useless. I signed the next day. Batesy offered me my terms. Said I could go home and sign the contract if you want, or we'll renegotiate tomorrow after training. I said, no, I'll go now, I'm all right with that.
It's for us Chelsea fans at the time, for you arriving, an old school centre forward, athletic, strong, with pace. You come to that team in the second division, and you grabbed it by storm. And we won the league, and we won it on goal difference. And you scored 28 goals in that first season, mate. 28 goals and goal difference. That's probably down to you.
Well, I played 9 years at the club, and the first year was my favourite year. It might be in the second division, but it was magical because we opened up the season against a favourite 6-4 favourites for the bookies at Derby County, managed by Peter Taylor, Brian Clough's assistant. We were 25-1 after nearly getting relegated that previous year. We beat them 5. I got 2, so we hit the ground running. And there was 3 or 4 teams, Newcastle, Sheffield Wednesday, Manchester City, who, 1 or 2 others, but they were the main challengers for us. Newcastle, including Peter Beardsley, Chris Royal, Kevin Keegan. Manchester City, Mick McCarthy was at the back, I remember him, there was always a scrap with him. They was a good side. And Sheffield Wednesday turned out to be some competitors of ours. We had some fierce games with them, certainly in the first 2 years. Ultimately pipping them for the trophy at Grimsby, 1-0. We're level on terms, 15-minute delay due to you lot. Not getting in the ground properly or climbing over fences and stuff like that. You youngsters, if you don't know what I'm talking about, ask someone and they'll probably tell you. It was a little bit different then. But nevertheless, I scored up at Grimsby, which was the second favourite goal in a Chelsea shirt for me.
I don't think you have to tell us what the first one is. We will come to that.
It was the next goal.
Yeah.
The next goal I scored for Chelsea.
It was. You've done it a few times, but I remember, and I'm sure many of you here, a 5-0 mauling of Leeds at Stamford Bridge after their fans had smashed our scoreboard up.
I remember it well, to win promotion.
Yeah.
We could have won the promotion at Portsmouth.
That's right.
In midweek, but as much as many Chelsea fans travelled down to Portsmouth that night, it was much better in front of 40,000 at home at the weekend.
And a hat-trick to go with it, Kerry.
Yeah, that always helps. I was speaking to Jimmy earlier and he said about, I mean, you look at modern football and we'll come on to it in the second half perhaps with a Q&A, but where have the centre forwards gone? You know, where have the strikers gone? Modern football, I think, is crap. I've got to be honest. But it's another thing. It's not exciting. No, it's not exciting. 300 passes, 80% possession, 2 shots on goal. No, come on. Listen, we'll come on to that. It's a moment of competition. I would rather see a shot on goal, keeper tip it over the bar or around the post. Unlucky. You work the ball up to a position to do something. These days, their coach don't give the ball away, so they come back out, work across the midfield, back again. Jesus wept. He swore earlier, but this subject will get me on that.
So you're going to go back to the 5-0 against Leeds. That dressing room must have been absolutely buzzing. It must have been amazing, magical in there.
It was a great dressing room once you got there. Chelsea fans, you lot all invaded the pitch, those that were there.
Yeah, I know, I do apologise.
Yeah, you did well to get off it, you know. Certainly with your kit intact or even on your body. It was a wonderful moment. 25-1, nearly got relegated 1 year. Fantastic it was. I didn't know what was going to happen. I played in the 3rd division with Reading the season before. I didn't even know if I'd be good enough to make the transition. And of course, would you be good enough to make the transition the following year?
Well, we'll move on to the following year because that's, for me, almost where the journey of Chelsea, the modern day Chelsea began. We got back in with the big boys, the old Division 1. I'm sure many of you were there. I mean, to me it was like yesterday, and we were just talking backstage 40 years ago.
40 years.
40 years, yeah. I know many of you don't think I look old enough. Alright, fuck off. 1-1 at Highbury, we were 1-0 down. I was behind the clock end, literally behind the goal, when you put it in the back of the net, and we went, and it's a roasting hot day. Kerry, that moment for you, you must have thought, my life, this is it.
It still makes my hair stand up on the back of the neck when I talked to Chelsea fans about it, and it seems that every Chelsea fan over a certain age was there. Those that weren't over a certain age, their dad was there. But it was one of them, you had to be there. And it was the day that we turned hybrid blue. You know, it was like, it wasn't just the clock end. Up both sides, scrapping in the North Bank. This is what I was saying earlier, you youngsters. You'll have to speak to the older brigade and they'll fill you in. But they were marching people out the North Bank, sticking them in the side. It was the norm. But what a day. When the bus pulled round the top and went to go down where we got off, outside the changing rooms, it was blue. This was a home game for Arsenal. And it's ironic that we've got them at the weekend. Yeah, we'll come on to that, I'm sure, in the second half as well.
I've got to be honest, I wish we'd have saved a few of the goals from last night for Sunday. Anybody mention the score last night? Only the 8-0. Flattered us a little bit, should have been 12. It was a memorable day. We were back in the first division, nowadays called the Premiership. That season, you were on fire. Joint top goal scorer with a man called Gary Lineker. Whatever happened to him?
Yeah, I mean, I have a couple of regrets in life. Three. Couple three. One of them was not beating Lineker that season, because I should have done.
You feel that?
I missed 9 penalties for Chelsea. That could get brought up. I was 3 in 2 days once.
I have to be honest, when I was doing my research, I thought I'd be kind. I did notice that.
Yeah, Portsmouth, Brighton, over Christmas, it was hardly a good Christmas present, but nevertheless. Second regret, not putting the other two out of business. And I'm talking about Frank and Bobby. Yeah. Bobby calls me the man that kept him in business. Frank just laughs.
Not a bad return from Frank, from a midfield position, is it?
You can't knock it, absolutely fantastic. True legend, great bloke, everything, you know. Old fat Frank, they said. Absolutely fantastic.
Can we keep mentioning your goals? In 2 seasons, Kerry, you scored 70 goals in 101 games. That is some return, I guess.
I've got to be honest, and it make you come across as a little bit big-headed, which I am a little bit, because all strikers have to be. What I call strikers, not other types of strikers. People who score goals. And it always comes up with Premier League stats. Nicholas Jackson's now at 5th highest Premier League scorer, quickest to get 20 goals. The mind boggles.
Couple of relationships.
I think he's improving.
Couple of relationships.
I work for the club, I've got to say that.
You had a couple of relationships in your time at Chelsea. One notably with a little Scottish fella called David Speedy. How much did he help you as a striker?
Help me? Jeez. He set up a lot of goals, but he was a hell of a hindrance. Certainly the first 3 months. I mean, he hindered every player in the squad. I think he had a scrap with every player in the squad.
Oh, that boy could have a fight in a phone box on his own.
For sure. And yet he's a wonderful guy. But I'll tell you a story while we had a sort of a scrap. Manchester City again. Everything seemed to happen against Manchester City at home. Speedo, run past me, tackle the fullback, cross the ball, put it in the box, I scored a header. The players come and congratulate me. Speedo run up to back to the halfway line with a face like smacked arse. And I thought, what's the matter with you? I had to explain to him after the game. We won the game. But the things that he was good at, I wasn't so good at. And the things that I was good at, he weren't so good at. I said, I wouldn't have run out to the wing, slide tackle the fullback, cross the ball. I said to him, and if I did, you'd have missed it anyway. He kind of got it. But that sorted it out. From then on in, the best strike partner I ever had, and I've had some good players, Beardsley, Lineker, Barnsley, Cotty, I've had some good players who played for England alongside us. Speedy was the best.
Thought you might say that. Going to move on a couple of seasons. After 3 seasons in the top flight, we dropped back down to the 2nd division after getting relegated. But we bounced straight back again, winning the league. And you've gone a little bit off the boil a tad, but that kind of salvaged your career. You had an injury and some other bits and pieces. And you got 25 goals in the 39 games, league games that season, winning the title for the 2nd time. Again, did that reinvigorate you as a footballer?
The reason we went down, we were a little bit unlucky, 4th from bottom, played a playoff game, which, we ended up going down.
Charlton? Was it
Charlton?
Oh, yeah.
We ended up going down. It was unfortunate. The club wasn't in transition, nothing to do with injuries. I was pissed off. I was arguing with Johnny Hollins, who's a club legend, and God bless him, a wonderful man. He was coach under John Hill, and he took over as manager. And to be honest, he messed up the best team I ever played for. And I say it with a sad note, because John really was a wonderful guy. But we only needed 2 fullbacks, so we'd be challenging. Anyway, for those that know, we ended up getting relegated. Bobby Campbell took over as Johnny Hollins left halfway towards the back end of the season. And Bobby Campbell did well for us. Whether you like it or not, I don't know what people think of anyway, everyone's got their own ideas. But Bobby Campbell, for me, was a good manager, very good manager. And we come back with the addition of 2 players, the same team or squad that got relegated, won the 2nd division by 99 points, a record number of goals. Graham Roberts and Peter Nicholas. Graham, I know, but I tell you what, for 18 months he was outstanding for us. He was.
It's always nice when you've got someone in the crowd with fucking Tourette's, isn't it? So we bounce back. Next season back in the Div 1, you score another 20 goals, double figures again. We end up 5th, our highest position for over 20 years. Again, for Chelsea fans, we were in 7th heaven. We were on the march. It was great down at Stamford Bridge. How were you feeling back?
Yeah, I was buzzing. I loved the club, I loved what we were doing and all the rest of it. We had a different team, a different strike force. Wilson and Jury were added, and they were good players in their own right.
But when you stayed fit,
Jim Box got about 25 goals that year as well. I think Willow got about the same. We got a lot of goals between us, and it was a good side.
You seem to play well with Scottish strikers.
Looks that way.
I'm so pleased I've got you out, Kerry. You're always a lot better when you're more drunk. But the second half, we'll work on that.
No problem, I look forward to it.
Couple more years with the Blues, Kerry. Not quite so prolific, things were kind of slipping off the boil. You made 335 league appearances, scored 147 goals in the league for Chelsea, ladies and gents. That speaks volumes, doesn't it? A proper old school, athletic, strong, just a one mind to get the ball between the sticks, as you mentioned earlier. Might have been route 1, get the ball up there, get it in the goal, and you see that was for you as the way to do it, and it worked. And from myself and everybody, we thank you for that, because it was wonderful those times. I know it's 2nd division that, but it was wonderful. But we did lose it. I'm not going to talk about Southampton, because we're not here about talking about Southampton. That's where he went to. Before I have to let you go, because we've got some others to come out, I want to ask you, is there one moment or goal that you would really like to share with us that's really special?
Well, for sure. There's 2 actually. The Arsenal goal I saw on the clip earlier on, that was the best goal I ever scored for Chelsea. It meant so much as a kid, playing in the streets down in Luton and supporting Luton and doing what he could to be a professional footballer, to finally score in the 1st division against the Arsenal, and it wasn't a bad goal, in front of 20,000 of our supporters. It was magic, and I'll never forget that bit. The other one was, of course, the '94 semi-final at Wembley. For those of you that went there, it was the most humbling, emotional, footballing moment of my life. I always believe with fans, you get out what you put in. And Chelsea fans showed me that day what they thought, and it will stick with me for the rest of my life.
Ladies and gents, we have got so much to get through, so for the now, please put your hands together for the man, the legend, Kerry Dixon. Don't forget that, Kerry. Please don't go anywhere, ladies and gents, we are going straight on, we are not stopping for a moment. We've got another young man who's about to make, look at them, look, what's the matter with you? You've got bladders the size of peanuts. Just wear a bag next time, will you? We'll give him a quick second. Can't believe it, can you, eh? Grown adults, look, can't hold on to it for more than 15 minutes. I bet they get up 15 times a night to pee. To be fair, I do it all. We will be bringing you more and more of these Chelsea Legends night, ladies and gents. For me, it's an honour to be here and to chat to these guys, because I have lived so much. I know he said everyone alluded to being there that day at Highbury. I actually was there that day at Highbury, and I can assure you it was unbelievable. And there's 2 or 3 other players that we're going to meet who have done similar things, and most of the time I seem to have been there. I don't know what I should have been working, but I don't know. Ladies and gents, it is time for a second guest, but before we bring him out, I think we should just watch a little VT. Ladies and gents, second to join us on stage tonight, 177 appearances, 142 appearances, scoring 4 goals. He was a defender, though, to be fair. Ladies and gents, Wayne Bridge! Thank you!
Gone from goals to goal.
No, it's not quite like that, man. I can make it sound really good. Give me half an hour.
Is it that bad?
No, to be honest, I think I've done the kids' homework. I just talk amongst us. I was told I should get a secretary. Maybe I should.
Any questions?
Yeah.
It'd be nice to get one myself.
Firstly,
There
Wayne.
ain't no kids here, is there?
Yeah, no, there is.
Right.
I think that was one of them. You really shouldn't drink on an empty head, mate, should you? Firstly, Wayne, I want to thank you for joining us at such short notice. You know, we had Mark pull out. We had you in for one of our shows. But without hesitation, you said you'd come along tonight, which was fantastic. On a Friday night as well, a drinking night, which is really good of you. You know?
I've not got a bad drinking habit. No, I love these events. I I'd rather do this on TV. Doesn't matter what you say too much.
Well, apparently not here. I know we met once before in a different guise,
Yeah.
and you even remembered it. At Sandown, I was emceeing a boxing show. Another night we think you'd had one or two drinks. Is this a,
Drinking. Yeah, I like my boxing. I do like my boxing.
and I know you had a few drinks that night. You do remember I lent you £50, didn't you?
I've got it.
Yeah. I'm going to start by going a little bit off piste, if you don't mind. We've got strikers here tonight. Kerry, obviously Jimmy will be a bit later. Both of them fairly daunting figures, especially Jimmy with those eyes. He looks like he's on something permanent, and he's freaky.
He's a strong character.
But a lovely man as well.
Lovely man, feisty on the pitch, feisty character, but a lovely man and
He
a
was
great player as well.
going to move on to yourself. 5 years at Southampton, then your big move to Chelsea. £7 million, and Graham was so going in the opposite direction. Graham had been an England regular, a Chelsea regular, regarded as one of the left backs. You were taking his place at Stamford Bridge. How did that feel? Was that quite daunting?
Yeah, especially because obviously I'd homegrown and been there all my career, so I was just comfortable. So to move is, for me, was pretty daunting. I'm not a person that likes change. So yeah, it was one of those, just a lot of pressure on you, and so for me I was nervous but excited at the same time. And obviously him going the other way, you're watching him every week thinking, how's he doing? And you just want to get out and play well, to be honest. But it was fairly, I wouldn't say it was easy, but they made a lot of signings, so it wasn't just me on my own, so not all the spotlight was on me, so that was probably the only bit which probably made it a little bit easier. But obviously coming on board with Roman at the time, no one really knew what he was like. I remember just first meeting him, I just thought, what a guy. This guy rolls up, he obviously loves football, he's invested so much money into the club, and he rolls up with Castello, and you're just like, what a guy. And I think, it was kind of easy with all the signings they made, or easier.
Standout moment in that first season, I'm going to bring it up double early. You all know what I'm talking about. That goal at Arsenal to send them out of the cup and put us in the semi-final. Kerry, Jimmy, are you listening?
It makes me grin ear to ear, to be honest. It was just such a special night. I can't put it into words. It still makes me smile now, even though it was that many years ago. And obviously I haven't scored many, and it was just such a big game. Jimmy went, you could tell he didn't know what to do, and I just sprinted over to the crowd, just wanted to celebrate with everyone, to be honest. It was a great moment, Arsenal being so dominant, and then just to go and put one over them. I think they're not the most, in terms of teams that I hate, they're not the most hated. I hate Man United. So,
God bless, I don't think you're alone, man.
in terms of my moments, that's one of them, but it's obviously beating Manchester United in the cup final as well as another one.
I was going to come to that.
But it was a great night for me. I went from hero to zero that night because went out, and I think the nightclub was full of Chelsea fans. I just got piled full of drinks and.
Oh, there is. Can you see there's a?
They actually forgot about me. I got a little bit too drunk, and they decided to lay me down and cover me in pillows and went home and forgot about me. They got me to training the next day. That was the main thing. So I never got fined.
It was a tough season, the second season. Jose came along. Yeah, loving all over him. He was great for our club. Sometimes the football wasn't always wonderful to watch, but he did the job, and he won us the title when won in 50 years. So whatever you say or whatever you think about him,
I think two people for me, Roman and Jose, just done so much for the club, and they loved the club to bits. Even when I was retired and injuries, Jose invited me back, got treatment there, offered me a job. Roman, when I left, I went over to his house in France and stuff. They were just two people that just loved the club. I was devastated when Roman left, to be fair, because I knew how much he loved the club as well.
I'll take you back there. I don't think Roman left the club. He was forced.
Yeah,
he was forced out of the club, which I think was terrible. I mean, the man was put in between a rock and a hard place. You either say that you love Putin and we're going to kill you overnight, or he was no win for that. I think he done wonders for our club. He put us where we are. I find football almost like it's like peaks and troughs, and I always said Chelsea peaked just when football really become mega. And we've been so lucky to ride that wave, and we're still there now. We've had a few double seasons, but really we're still one of the big boys.
Oh, definitely. You talk about Rome. I just gutted. I think what him and Mourinho brought to the club was fight as well. You know, you had players like Robin, Joe Cole. You know, skillful players. Damien Duff. There's so many, and when you look at them players, why we did so well is they did that going forward, but they worked their butts off. Everyone just had that fight in them that we weren't going to lose, and that mentality. You know, remember Ashley came from Arsenal to Chelsea, and he was like, the mentality was so different. You just had that fight. We weren't going to lose. It wasn't how many we were going to win, but we just weren't going to lose. And I think he noticed that in the team and the players, and that was brought from Roman and Jose, and obviously all the players were there. They all had that fight in them.
It was a season that was kind of bittersweet for you because it was cut short with a terrible ankle injury, and we obviously won our title, in that year. But fortunately, you played enough games to get yourself a league winners medal. That must still be pride of place in your house.
Yeah, it kind of is, obviously, because I won it, but you want to play more games. But I played enough to win it, so I did win it. The thing for me that stands out for that season, personally, was it was such a massive injury because I basically broke my leg, I dislocated my ankle, and broke my ankle in half. So to come back from me was like, I'm proud that I come back from that kind of injury. But I think the thing that stands out for me was when the lads went and won the cup final a month later. I remember Mourinho calling me straight away from the change room, and it makes me feel a little bit emotional now. I don't know why, actually. Probably because I've had a beer. I'm sat in the hospital then, and I just remember him calling me, and all the players cheering down the phone to me, and it felt really emotional. I was absolutely buzzing for him, and obviously went on to win the title, which I was really happy with. But that was a moment that stood out for me, and I had my ups and downs with Mourinho. I think what killed me a little is I turned the corner of him, and I remember him saying to me like 2 weeks before the game, "Bridge, you've been brilliant." And it's one of them things that when he said something to you like that, you felt it. You've been brilliant. You've got to stay fit. You've got Barcelona come out, we playing there when I broke my leg, but what happened after is Chelsea going to win the title, and that phone call after winning just meant so much to me.
It's been a close season. Chelsea going to sign another left back. I've got to be honest, I've totally forgotten about him. I still don't even know his name. Acer Del Horno. Anybody remember him? Well, how the bollocks he must have been. I don't remember him at all. He must have been great. I don't remember at all. Your injury kept you on the sidelines. Eventually, you did get back on the first team training, but you know you had to go off and get yourself match fit, and you popped over to a little club that played in Putney called Fulham. How did you find it there, going from this massive juggernaut of a team to this little country pub?
Do you know what? I did actually enjoy it because it was a nice club. It was a real family club. But again, it's one of them things, if I look back on it, I have to be proud of myself for going there and getting fit and going away with England again, because it was a massive injury. It was one of them things that Mourinho was like, it's really hard for me to play with you, so obviously you've been struggling with your ankle. We don't know, it was a lot of struggle coming back. I didn't have a lot of movement in the ankle, so it was great for me personally, but it's also really hard, you know, going from Chelsea to Fulham, and all the players that you had surrounded around you, it was kind of easy to play football. So it was very different, but I enjoyed it at the same time. It was a bit like being back at St Hampton, being in a dogfight every week.
Well, it's almost like going McDonald's one week and then going to the Ivy the following week.
Pretty much. But Fulham's a good club. They hate Chelsea more than we hate them, that's how I feel.
Yeah, that's little club mentality.
Yeah.
They look up at us with empathy, aren't they?
Yeah,
So I totally understand that.
Yeah.
I completely understand. Have you got any Fulham fans in? Good.
They don't want to speak up.
I would ask if any Tottenham fans in, but they wouldn't pay £40 for a ticket. You did get yourself back and fit. 2006-7 was when you were kind of, I mean, and coming back from that itself, it deserves a round of applause, because just to be able to get back out there and go into a challenge, you know, it's tough. But we'd actually signed a little left back. You might have heard of him. He played a few games. A guy called Ashley Cole. Arguably one of the best left backs we've ever had playing in the Premiership.
I think in the world, maybe, to be honest.
Yeah. He fitted straight in, but he got injured, and you then came back in, and you slotted straight back in. I mean, I remember it like it was yesterday, and it was. I remember thinking at the time, wow, this is going to be tough for you. But you made it look so easy. Was it that easy, or did you struggle yourself mentally with it?
Do you know what? I don't think I've ever been a problem to a manager if I was on the sidelines or second fiddle, even when I was at Man City or at Chelsea, because that's just me as a person. I'll always work hard. I won't cause a problem, and I always want to get back in the team. And you know, it's great for me to just get that praise as well. I remember the first game I slotted back in, I got loads of praise. So for me, it felt great. And we played so many games, so you know I was always playing nearly 30 games a season anyway. I know I want to play week in, week out, but Chelsea ended up feeling like Southampton. It felt like home. So it is home. It was hard to leave. I didn't want to leave, but it was one of them things that a conversation happened. The manager ended up leaving. Roman was great with me when that came about, but for me it was. I was playing 20, 30 games a season, so I was still enjoying my football and enjoying being at the club and the fans and everything.
But that must have been a bit of a special season after all the injuries, all the setbacks, to go on and do a cup double.
Oh yeah, massively.
With the League Cup and the FA Cup.
I think for me, when I had the operation, it was, you know, surgeons aren't the most tactful. Like, you probably won't come back and play football, and it's like the last thing you want to hear. But you know, the physios, Roman, you know, they sent me away to the best physios, the best centres to get treatments. They took really good care of me, and doing the double again. I think I played a lot of the cup games, and then coming up to the final, I was thinking, yeah, I'm not going to play. Ashley's going to play, but Mourinho stuck with me, and as much as I had my ups and downs with him. He was great for the team. He was great for me as well. I think if I had more of an older head at the time, I probably would have dealt with things a lot more better. But like I said, I had a great time. I loved it, and I think that season, just beating Man United in the final was just brilliant. No one likes Man United. No one likes the fans. I remember Ashley Cole coming on. We won, and we were cheering in the United fans' faces. Oh, it was brilliant.
It's funny, people often say to me, they know what I do, and they go, what are these guys like backstage? And I was like, yeah, it's exactly what he's like backstage. He's a proper football fan as well. Let me tell you, ladies and gents, we've had a bit of banter back there. Something which, great to play for your club, win the trophies. You actually managed to, as well, to captain the club. How that must have felt fantastic to have that armband on.
Yeah, it kind of did, but I missed the fucking penalty. I missed the penalty, yeah, so that was the only thing that always comes up is captain, which is brilliant, and the fact that Mourinho gave it to me, I said I had my ups and downs, but that's some great moments of him. So yeah, it was such an honour, but it was missing the penalty that just sticks in my
I wasn't going to mention that, to be fair.
I know, but it's just I can't help it. That's footballer mentality sometimes. You know, there is great moments, but a lot of the bad moments can stick in your head sometimes.
You played in 3 cup finals, winning 2 of them, and losing 1, which really sticks in my throat. Pugsy kids.
kids who can bring that up, it does my head in. Do you know why? Because I gave away a bloody penalty as well.
You did.
Yeah.
Again, I wanted to bring it up.
We did get it back to 1-1 though, so I didn't feel as bad. But yeah.
But
now the second team I probably hate the most as well. And then Pompey.
Isn't it funny that I'd say 99% of this room, with you, 18 Tottenham.
Yeah.
You've played, I said, in 3 cup finals. You've won the 3 major honours in this country. You won the League Cup and the FA Cup. It's a complete honour for you. I mean, it must be. You must, with pride, you must feel happy still about your career. I mean, I'm sure that we would all like for more. But, you know, with what went on, you know, you got to be...
It's just been some great years, to be honest, and it was probably just the whole thing, Roman, Mourinho, it's just been some great years, some great moments, and I think what I've appreciated a lot since retiring is realising you lot as fans are the most important things to the club, because you know, you can go and spend so much money and go along a weekend and watch some absolute shit, but still come back the following week. And it's like, I think that's one of the things as a player as well. I definitely think from that era, you think, fucking hell, shit. Like, you spent that much money to come and watch us and we've been shit. And I think that's what drives a lot of us. And I think that's one thing that has stood out for me over the last years. I think football has become a little bit boring. The fact that fans, you know, they keep going and support these clubs. They're the most important things in clubs all day long. You go through the ups and the downs. You've gone through that, and I'm sure Chelsea will be up there again.
I don't even want to think what I've spent over the years. I'll share with you, when we got the first Champions League final, it's a true story. I booked a weekend away to Marrakesh, 5-star with my missus. She caught me on the computer trying to find flights from Marrakesh to Moscow.
To be fair, I went as a fan to the Champions League Cup final when it beat United. What a time that was.
Listen, I'm convinced that let me go with the second one. I said, it'll never happen in my lifetime again. Fucking hell, wrong was I? But she let me go twice, so I'm not going to moan. I was there as well, so thank you very much.
You should be there every time.
Yeah, I'd love to. Just before we finish, Wayne, so I've still got one more guy that I want to bring out before the end of them. One moment that sticks in your mind, whether it's a goal or something that happened, anything that you can share with us that really sticks out in your mind.
There's just the two. There's obviously the Arsenal goal and beating Man United in the cup final, because I hate United, but obviously the goal for me...
Yeah, you have mentioned that.
Yeah, the goal for me just is a massive standout. You know, I remember it, Jesper getting it and it coming across, and then a 1-2 of Ida, and do you know what, as well as a massive standout, is just going into the changing room afterwards and seeing how everyone was, and Roman in there as well, just like buzzing. Do you know, he had so much passion for the club, wanted him to do so well. And the other moment was probably Adrian Mutu going, double bonus, and Roman went, yeah, Sonic, double bonus. He was like, yeah!
Which is handy, because we were thinking about making a double bonus tonight. And I've got to let you know, my mum taught me it's the thought that counts.
Yeah.
Ladies and gents, please put your hands together. We'll be seeing them again a little bit later. Ladies and gents, the wonderful Floyd. What is going on in here tonight? It's like an old age pension home. Everyone's going out for a piss. Well, 2 down, ladies and gents. You alright, mate? That's right. How are your daughter again, I see? I've got to be honest, it's better than the one you were with last week. It's wonderful to be here, ladies and gents. I've got to be honest, I do love doing these theatre shows. The little ones we do with like 100 people are great, but once we get into an auditorium like this, it's fantastic. It's just a shame I can't see some, and the lights are so bright. But something I'm going to let you know, if you was at the Franco Zola show, at the very, very end, I actually did a selfie with Zola and all the audience. And unbeknown to me on the night, his manager was videoing it. And about a week later, I had about 50 people saying, "Have you seen on Instagram?" I said, "What? I've got Insta, but I don't know how to use it." "Gianfranco Zola, it's all over his Instagram. You and him on stage and all of the audience," which was magical. It really was. And we're going to do the same thing tonight. We're going to get an audience with the players as well. A big giant selfie. If that's all right with you guys. Yeah, good. Hopefully, it'd be good. I'm trying to waffle. You should have learned from that. You see, it's the staff. It's very cheap. You can't get them these days. So. We've still got a few more coming back. It's very empty out there now. They've obviously got the little boys' room. Who said that? Is that you over there, mate? No, okay, I'll bring him out. Don't worry. So, I don't know, it's funny they do that, don't they? It's alright, not a problem. This man, he's a lovely man. He really is to talk to. But when he opens his eyes, he is fucking scary. I would hate to have been a defender against him. If he'd have looked at me, I was saying, "Fuck it, have the ball." He did score some wonderful goals for us at Chelsea. Alright, he played for fucking dirty Leeds, but we'll kind of forgive him for that. We can do that, we can forgive him. Ladies and gents, for the third time tonight, please can you run the VT? Ladies and gents, I'm not going to make you wait any longer. Please, the main man, Jimmy! Oh, Jimmy! Floyd Hasselbaink. Jimmy, please take a seat, my friend.
How are we all?
He's like a pussycat, really.
Pussycat?
Sorry, no, it wasn't me, sir.
Hey, hey.
87 goals, Jimmy.
Only?
Weren't there that long, were you?
How many matches?
146, was it 147?
Not bad.
What was it?
1 and 2.
That was league games. No, that was all together. No, sorry, I was going to league games. You're right. Yeah. Ladies and gents, we actually met. I don't see you. We met before, Jimmy.
Did we?
Yeah, we did. You had a flat cap on at the time.
You were wearing that suit?
I'll let you in a secret. I actually said to my wife, "Does this look good?" So you're actually saying her tasting sauce isn't very good.
No. It looks good. It looks good.
She does a lot of that, to be fair. No. Yeah, it was in the queue going into the.
It was in Amsterdam.
Yeah, in the Johan Cruyff Arena for the for another final
Against
we won
Benfica.
against Benfica. We won 2-1.
We did. That was with Benitez.
Yes,
Was the manager.
Yeah. The fat Spanish waiter.
Oh gosh. I didn't say that, guys. I did not say that.
And just like Wayne, I remember lending you €50 that night.
Did you? You want it back?
No, sir, you can keep it. Good was this happening, mate? Jimmy, it's so great to see you. I'm going to quickly start, if you don't mind, with with Leeds. We don't call them Leeds, we call them dirty Leeds. 69 appearances and 34 goals. That's not a bad return in the top flight.
I must say, even though I know the rivalry between Leeds and Chelsea is high, but I really enjoyed my time there. It was my first 2 years in England. A little bit different than London, but what an atmosphere in that stadium. Totally different than at the Bridge. Both unique, you know, but obviously Chelsea went on to great things, and Leeds in the Championship. Well, yeah, look, we have had 20 really good years in the term of trophies and stuff. Yeah. And we have got owners now that see the club in a different way, and you have to respect that. You have to give them the time to turn things around in their way, and to be fair, how the team is playing at the moment and how they are, it's very exciting. So in a way, if they keep on growing, they are doing a very good thing. So hopefully they can keep on growing and they can keep on bringing you know, this kind of players and success to the club.
It'd be lovely. I've got to ask, how did you find life in the UK? It really more so the comparison between Leeds and London.
Well, look, I like cultures. So I was brought up in the Netherlands. I was born in Suriname. That used to be a colony of the Netherlands. The culture of the Netherlands is more or less the same as in England. Up north, what I really enjoyed my time. It is a little bit more different, more
Backward?
No, I wouldn't say backward, but more harder working, I would say, you know. And down south is more luxury, isn't it?
Yeah, we got electricity and carpets. haven't we?
Well, here you
I'll be
go.
honest, Jimmy, I'm so pleased you're laughing. I'm scared shit isn't going to work. Quickly, I mentioned after Leeds, you had a little stint in Spain.
Yeah.
Atletico.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a fairly successful season for you as a goal scorer.
Yeah, it was professionally a very difficult year because we went down that year, but luckily for myself, I scored 30 odd goals.
Rally in Spain.
In a struggling team, and that gave me a move to England and to Chelsea. When I was at Leeds in my last year, Chelsea came in for me. Chelsea wanted to already get me, but Leeds didn't want to sell me to an English club. I then went to Atletico Madrid, and they got Chris Sutton from Blackburn.
What a swap.
Well. At that time, Chris Sutton at Blackburn was scoring lots of goals, but it just didn't work out for him at Chelsea, and that in a way was my luck, because Gianluca Vialli he then called me and wanted to sign me, and I couldn't believe it. So and I was so grateful, you know, A, coming to Chelsea, but also B, having a manager that used to be one of the best strikers in the world.
I was actually going to allude to that. sing on your own, mate. Please.
Leave him alone.
I'm pissing him off now, I'll be careful. Not only did you come to Chelsea, a joint record price tag of £15 million at the time, ladies and gentlemen. 15 million. How did that feel? There must have been pressure with that, Jimmy.
You don't get a lot for that nowadays.
Listen, a £40 million player in the Premiership now is shit. You're looking 80, 100 million. You know,
Yeah,
crazy.
so at the time, 15 million was record signing together with Alan Shearer at the time. Yes, there was a lot of pressure, but I liked that pressure. It brought more focus. It brought more hunger, and I wanted to really prove myself as a striker and as a football player. You know, obviously I was bought to Chelsea to win the league. What didn't happen, unfortunately. But in my first year, I scored 23 goals in the league, became top scorer. So I had a good start in that first year. So it was money well spent.
Wine Bridge would have been very proud of you because one of your first goals was against Manchester United in the Charity Shield, which we won.
Yes, we did.
So
We
you
won
started
2-0.
Yeah, you started on the right foot.
Yeah, and that was in the old Wembley. So yeah, I remember that day really well. Me and Mario Melchior scored.
To the Dutchman.
Yes, double Dutch. Gustavo Poyet had a big fight with Roy Keane. Yeah, in the middle of the pitch.
Yeah, Charity Shield.
Yeah. No, it was always competitive. It was always competitive. It doesn't matter what match it was, what was on the match, but it was always competitive against Man United, against Arsenal, against Spurs. You know, so those were the big matches. We had, I think at the time, we had a better team than Man United and Arsenal, but we couldn't find consistency, and that's what you need to win leagues, you know. But individually, player for player, I think we had better players.
You were brought in, you said, by Vialli, a striker like yourself, again, a great striker as well, scored many goals. He wasn't there that long. He moved on, and in came Claudio, the Tinkerman Ranieri, who'd been your manager at Atletico.
Yeah, he was.
That must have been almost sad to see Luca go, but a relief that someone's coming in that knows your ability and knows you as a player.
Well, first of all, I was shocked and really saddened to see Luca go, because he was one of the reasons that I signed for Chelsea. I had, even though we went down at Atletico Madrid, I had a good season, so I had a lot of, I have a lot of options to go to different kind of clubs. But my choice was combined with Chelsea and Luca, and to see him go was a big problem for me. Obviously, I knew Claudio Ranieri. I had a good relationship with Claudio, but Claudio was different. Claudio, if you look in Claudio's career, he's a very good manager, but
How was the training?
no, the training was hard. It was very tough. Really tough. A lot of running, a lot of fitness, and Claudio knew what he was doing, but he couldn't find a consistency with us. So that was one of the biggest problems.
With the team, that's maybe so, but for you were still finding the net. I mean, you actually won the Golden Boot that year. You know, you were the top goal scorer in the league. Why couldn't the rest of the team just?
I was always going to find the net.
Yes. we had this conversation just a second ago in the wings. I was watching the VT and I said, how did you get so much power without dragging your leg back? And he went, I'm a strong man. And I didn't have the guts to even think about arguing with that.
It's true though. I'm a strong man. No, look, shooting at the goal was one of my strengths. So, what a lot of players do nowadays, or even back in the day, they think that they're good at everything. And as a player, you need to realize what you're good at and what you can materialize on. I had a good shot. I was powerful. I could play on defenders' weaknesses, and I needed to put myself in positions where I could shoot at the goal, because then I knew that, look, I would have a big chance of scoring. So I got myself in positions that I could, shoot at the goal. And then if you do that, the goalkeeper has a problem, especially when it rains. The ball goes even quicker. So I just played on those kind of things, and then I used to train myself at getting better at shooting with my left foot, headers, my movement in the box. But my main asset was shooting at the goal. So you need to be a little bit smart for yourself to be in those positions where you can shoot at the goal.
Something I'm going to mention now, and I'm going to thank you on behalf of everybody here tonight. Your hat-trick in the 4-0 against Spurs. Thank you so much, Jimmy Floyd. And in the same season, you scored 2 in the 3-2 win at their place as well. We did the double over. Come on!
To be honest, I've always done the double over Spurs. In my 4 years at Chelsea, I've played obviously 8 times against them in the league. Believe it or not, I've won all 8 goals. And even better, as a striker, I've scored in every 8 games.
I'm not even wrong.
So for me, Spurs has got a special place for me.
Yeah, there's a special place I've got with Booksters as well. Jimmy, we want to say you formed a really special partnership with a certain man called Ida Goodchild.
Yes.
For me, a very, very intelligent footballer.
Yeah.
How did you find him yourself?
So first of all, as a human being, top bloke. Really top person. Still speak to him, still in touch with him. He lives in Iceland. We speak at least once a month. Very underrated as a footballer. Didn't get as much recognition as he should. We just got on off the pitch, on the pitch. We didn't work on a lot on the pitch. It was just natural, and it just clicked. We understood each other. We wanted each other to do well. We worked very hard for each other, but the understanding was just there. I just needed to make my runs, and I knew the ball would come. But he's such a technical player. His touch, his understanding. He could play in midfield, and so unselfish. So yeah, we really enjoyed being the same team.
Many Chelsea fans feel exactly the same. We knew how good he was, and the partnership between you two was really great to watch. It really was. It was almost telepathic sometimes.
Yeah,
the way you played together.
It was. That's what I meant. Sometimes you you just felt that the ball was going to come, or I just felt, oh, he's going to do this and this. I need to be there, you know. So and the ball would come. I think in the 2002-2003 season, or the year after, we scored together 55 goals. You know. And there was a lot of assists between us as well, you know. So yeah, he's a special footballer, special person.
Going to quickly jump on to another special footballer that I had the pleasure of sitting on this stage with a little short while ago. A genius of a footballer, Gianfranco Zola. How was he?
Yeah, Gianfranco was different than Ida. He's more like a number 10. Best technical footballer I've played with. You would want him to score more goals, but the things that he did and understood, and he was so far ahead of his time, you know. Technically so superb, always doing something. Like I had to do a lot of stuff with my power. He would do it just only simple technically, and that's the big difference.
A couple of other strikers you shared dressing rooms with was Adrian Mutter and Crespo.
Yeah.
Both big name strikers with big reputations. You still managed to outscore them every season. 3 out of the 4 seasons you was with us, you was our top goal scorer.
Yeah, I'm that year that they came, the last year, Ranieri got me in the office and said, I'm going to bring in 2 strikers. They're going to be the main strikers. And that was after the year that me and Ida had really a good year. I have to bring them in. That was when Roman came in, and he had now all of a sudden lots of money to spend. What do you want to do, Jim? Do you want to go? What I understand, because you might not play as much as you played previously, or do you want to stay and fight for a place? So I said, no, I'm staying. I want to stay, and nobody will be better than me. I will score more goals than others. So what happened? I knew that I had to bring my best game to the surface, and I remember that year because I was very upset that year with Ranieri. And I expected a lot more from him, as I've been in the previous years, always one of the main strikers and scoring quite a lot of goals. So I expected a lot more from him, but I didn't get that. So majority of the time when I entered the pitch, I entered it with, believe it or not, with more anger. Even though that I entered the pitch always with quite a lot of anger.
We noticed.
Yeah, so I was in a way playing against him, not against whoever was in front of me. So and yeah, that year I ended up being the top scorer.
Just doing
and we ended up coming back for the important matches to me and Ida. Yeah, so, you know, here you go.
One thing I'm going to mention that season, the game against Wolves. 60 minutes in, they bring on the man.
We were losing, weren't we?
We were losing.
Yeah, and that was on my birthday.
Was it your birthday as well?
It was on my birthday.
Wow.
I will never forget. It was on my birthday. I came in, as I was saying, the anger. The majority of the matches I came in or started, and I had to have that anger. And I came in and I scored a hat-trick.
You did. In 30 minutes, you demolished Wolves.
Yeah.
You really
won,
did.
I think we won 5-2.
5-2? 5, yeah.
5-2, 5-3.
5-3. 5-3 it was.
Yeah.
It was,
You have it written up, I've got it in my head.
It was 5-2. Yeah, to be fair, you scored 3 of the goals, you should remember it.
Yes, yes. Okay, I'm sorry.
The 5... Is he still smiling? I'm going to mention a game that was 5-3, which was a heartbreak to us. Monaco, by aggregate.
Please.
That was the year I thought we were going to... I just thought we were better than them. We were a better side.
That was our year.
Yes.
Do you know how strange football is? Yeah? So, we should have actually beaten Monaco. Yeah? If we beat Monaco, we play Porto in the final. And I think we should beat Porto in the final. There is no Mourinho then. You know that.
That's right, you would have lost the job.
See how strange football can be, you know? So sometimes things are in the stars they are in the stars and it have to happen, you know? Unfortunately. And that was one of those things there was some decisions made that shouldn't have been made and we lost 5-3. Yeah. Who the hell would do that?
A tactical genius. Jimmy, we did go down that game. Obviously, that was the end. It must have been tough to take.
You know, sorry to interrupt you. You know what was the weird thing? We lost in Monaco, and then we came back at the bridge. And I think the first 30 minutes we were winning 2-0. And I thought, okay, then here we go. We're gonna do it, you know. And then they had a counter attack, and Mario Melchior should have actually made a foul to stop the counter attack. He didn't.
Too nice.
Yeah. Well, normally he isn't, but I think, yeah. So they went on, and then Morientes scored the goal, the 2-1, and I think that was when the momentum changed and our energy changed, and we went on to not doing such a great thing, unfortunately.
You did go on to play for a couple of English guys, Borough and Charlton, but
Yeah.
I'm sure your fondest memories must have been at your time at Chelsea.
My best 4 years was at Chelsea. The club that is really the closest to my heart. I must say,
He's saying all the right things, ladies and gents.
I must say I've had a great time at Leeds, and you know, but with Chelsea I've played with the best players that I've ever played with. You know, Gianfranco Sola, Marcel Desailly, Roberto Di Matteo, Gustavo Poyet, Emmanuel Petit, you know, keep on going, Makalele.
Any Englishmen in there?
Frank Lampard.
Thank you.
John Terry.
Okay. Not allowed to mention it tonight.
Wayne Bridge.
Well done. I can hear this in the dressing room. Well done. Thank you.
Good job, Fynn.
Great player. Jimmy, we were mentioning again a little bit later on your time with England just recently.
Yeah.
I want to be really short and quick because we've got to move on. But do you think we should have won the final?
No.
Thank you.
Spain was better.
On the day, yeah.
No, well, the whole tournament, Spain had a momentum. They had things were going for them. We were looking to get that momentum. We got things over the line, and we did brilliant. We did absolutely brilliant. But sometimes you have to just be honest, you know. And Spain were good. Spain were good against us. We came back to 1-1. We wanted to make a few changes. When we were trying to make a few changes, they scored 2-1. So we done absolutely magnificent, brilliant to get to the final. Played ever so well against the Dutch and deserved to be in the final. But you know, in the final, Spain was better, and you know, you have to be honest sometimes. It hurts. It hurts. Don't get me wrong. It's painful. Yeah. And we. I've had really sleepless nights about it. Really sleepless nights. But you know, Spain was better.
Thank you, Jimmy. Ladies and gents, I'm sure you agree. You know, for the right of what was happening. Jimmy. Ladies and gents, that does bring us to our short interval. Around about 15 minutes or so, 20 minutes. Ross, don't forget his coat. We'll be back with you in the second half. When you go out to the bar area, there are some little vouchers where the ticket stand is for you to jot down some questions. If you'd like to fill those out, there'll be someone out there to collect them off you, and we'll get through those in the second half. In the meantime, ladies and gents, enjoy your drinks. We'll be back with you in about 20 minutes. Ladies and gents, welcome back to the second half. If I could ask the theatre to bring up some of the house lights a wee bit so I can see the audience, it would be fantastic. Oh, I've second thoughts. No, up a little bit more. And just the stage lights down a wee bit. It's funny, mate, your wife is shouting that as well. There he is. Fantastic. You should have paid the 2 seats, you mate, size of you. Ladies and gents, welcome back to the second half of the show. Did you enjoy the first half? Wonderful, wonderful to have such great talent amongst us. This is our chance to raise a few pounds. These shows cost an awful lot of money to put on. They really do. People think, oh, you make fortunes out of it. Let me tell you, you don't. And it's always a struggle to get things. A lot of work, a lot of time goes in. Before we do the auction, I want to say a big thank you to the theatre because they have been absolutely brilliant to us. So please give them a round of applause for the Playhouse. They've been so good to us. Really, our chance to try and... I'll just wait for the man to take his jacket off. He's obviously getting comfortable. Got a few little items we're going to sell in the auction. The first one, I'm sure you'll get a photograph of them later if this one goes. No, we haven't got a Tottenham fan in. Signed by Kerry Dixon. 193 goals. There it is on the back. Who's going to start me straight away at £100? Someone in the room, give me £100. Let's start gently. Start me out at £50. Signed by Kerry Dixon. I'm sure he'll give us I've got 50, I've got 75. Look at I've got £100. Got 125, 125, 125, 150. I've got £150. Anybody else wants to join in, please? 150 in front of me. Got £150. Look, 175. I've got 175. I've got £200 for the man in the scarf. Do you want to turn the heating on for you, mate? £200, we've got £200. We've just got a bad neck. £200, we've got £200. Anyone else in the room? £200. We're at £200 for the young man down here. £200. Anybody else in the room? Give me a shout if you're interested. £200. I'm not going to muck around tonight. I'm going to let things go as quick as I can. Sorry, I couldn't see up there. £225. He says you can go in the front seats. You can't afford to fucking pay anymore. He's got the tube seats. £225 against you, sir. £225. £250. He says, have that in your arsehole. £250 we're at. £250. Everyone else at the back of the room. £250. I'm going to go once at £250. We're looking twice at 275 for the man in the yellow jumper in the back there. 275 pounds, he's coming to the death. 275's against you. 275. Look, I've seen the way he's dressed, mate. He won't go any more than 275. He's got fuck all money. Go 300 and you'll nick it. Go 300 and you'll nick it. It's at 275 for the young man at the back. 275 is once. It's twice. 300 pounds, he ain't mucking around down here. 300 pounds we're going. 300 pounds, he's shaking his head saying, tell the kid he can have it. 300 pounds once, twice at 300 pounds, all in, fair warns. Sold to the young man on the front, 300 pounds. Fantastic. I'll be honest, I don't know why I can afford to pay it. But I'm sure. Yeah, he's all over that. What have we got next? Wow. Really? Oh, and this piece. You may have heard of this young man. He graced the Hallow Turf at Stamford Bridge for a few seasons. He was a legend. We had the best of him. He went off to Real Madrid and didn't do a great deal. Eden Hazard! Oh, Eden! Oh, that was good. Right, start me straight away. £100 in the frame, give me straight away. I've got £100 for a young man over there that's on the camera tonight. £100, looking for a bit more than that, looking for a bit more. Looking for 125 somewhere. Got 125 to my left hand side. 125 I've got. Looking for a bit more. We need 150 we're at. £150 we're at. £150. Centre of the room at 150. Anybody else? 150. Are you bidding in the back? You're a cameraman and you're bidding.
He did,
175 on the back of the room, one of our cameramen this evening. In case anybody's worried about the cameras tonight, you're sitting with someone you shouldn't be. You think your missus might catch it. Don't worry, it's not going out, it's just for their dissertation at university. So at 175 with that camera at the back of the room, 175, signed by Eden Hazard. Anybody else in the room? £200. £200. The poor students are going, fuck it. £200 I've got to my left hand side. £200. Can I let it go for that, Deck? Hagrid, can I let it go for that? Shh. Get in here. I've got away with it. Are we allowed to let it go for £200? Yeah, we can. Okay. That's cheap. All right, £200. Anywhere else it's going to give you 2 1/4. 2 1/4 I'd look for, but I will let it go for 200. I'm going to let it go once at £200. We're twice. 225 for the lady in the front row. She said, I'm going to come in late, I'm going to gazump the lot of them. 2 1/4 we're at £225. We're at £225. We're once at £225. We're twice. £250. When you go like that, love, that starts to... Sorry, you shouldn't do that. There's always men around. £250 we've got. £250. Once at £250. We're twice at £250. 275. The girls are getting at it. The girls are... She really wants it. We're at £275 in the front row. Once, twice at £275. All in. Fair warms. Sold to the young lady in the front row. 275. Her friend just sent her, for fuck's sake. That's charming. She just bought you a present. Oh, you were buying it for her and she was buying it for you. I'll tell you what, I've got another one in the car. I'll buy one each. Right. Folks, usually I would agree with you wholeheartedly, but a very, very, very quick story. I lost a friend of mine about 12 weeks ago, really suddenly playing football. He had passed away on the side of the pitch with us there. And I did a show with Gazza, and he did a video, because the man was a Tottenham fan, and went out of his way to do us a video. Gazza is all heart, and for me, the greatest English footballer we've ever created. I'm sorry, you know. I know he's Tottenham, but strike me in the room somewhere at £100. Come on, it's signed by Gazza. It's the England top. What was it say on the front? No, it's just the England one. Sometimes it's stuck on them. Anyway, I'm going to give me like 100. I've got 125 for the young man there. 125 I've got. £200. He's been against himself. He doesn't know how a fucking auction works, does he? £200 we've got. Thank you, sir. £200. £200 we've got from the young man here. £200. 225 for the young man up the back of the room there. 225 we got. 225 we're at. 225. Give it a little bit more if we can. 225 up there on the right hand side. £225 or once at £225. I want to move it on. I want to get the players back out. Twice. 250. 250 we're at. 250. Got a wave if you're interested. 250. We're moving on. 275. I think we got right at the back of the room there. 275. You waving or you bidding, mate? He's bidding. 275. We're at £275. Really got a wave if you're interested. Once, twice, at £300. We're at £300. I'm whizzing on. Once, twice.